Welcome to this week's Level 1 class. We're going to work a lot on the adductors today, so we're still going to work our core, but we're working on our adductors, the inside of the thighs, the groin muscles for a good bit today. We'll get started with a warm up. We'll come over onto our hands and knees, so hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Drop the ribs down to the mat, arching the back, drop the head down, ribs to the ceiling. Drop the ribs back down, lift the head up in front, head down, ribs to the ceiling, drop the ribs back down, lift the head up, drop the head down, ribs up nice and high again, drop the head down halfway. So you're looking down between your fingertips, pick the left foot up, twist it out to the side, have a look at the toes, left foot in, right foot up and out to the side. Good. Out to the left again, and out to the right. Perfect. Get the legs moving together, bring the head from side to side, and then we're going to make this confusing. Drop the ribs down, head up in front, turn the head to the left, look at the toes to the left side. Drop the head down, left foot comes in, right foot comes out, checking the toes out, drop the ribs down, head up in front. Turn the head to the right, foot to the side, push the ribs to the ceilings, roll the head down, right foot comes in, left foot goes out, looking at the toes, left foot comes in, looking up in front as the ribs drop down. Good. Point the elbows back towards the toes, bring the hips and shoulders to the left, bring the right leg back, going straight into the hard ones. And then the right arm up in front, and then back down. My balance isn't good today. We go over to the right, left leg back, left arm up in front. Good, and better on the right for once. Left hand back down, we'll try the left side again. Right leg back, so hips and shoulders come out to the left, right leg back, right arm up in front. A little better second time round. And then one last one to the right, left leg back, left arm up in front, and then arms and legs back down. Good. Tuck the toes underneath the feet, point the elbows back, lift the knees up, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and this time if we can we're going to try and lift one hand up. If you can't do the hands, we'll lift one foot up. So we're going to lift the right side up and down, left side up and down, right and down, left and down. Keep the hips in the centre of the body, down it and swing side to side, left, right, left, right, and last one on the left, and then bring the knees back down onto the mat. Perfect. Let's turn over onto our back. Start with a little bit of activation for the core as usual, and then we're going to start to work the adductors loads today. So, head resting on our head block. If you don't have the circle, just use a cushion. Imprint the spine, hands by the side, bring the legs to tabletop and tapping the toes off the mat, one at a time. Nice soft taps. Good, keeping the imprint, making it harder, tap the feet away, tapping the toes or the heels, whichever you want, but all the time squeeze that back into the mat, nice and firm. One last one on each leg. Legs back to tabletop and feet onto the mat. So if you have your circle, we'll grab it. If you don't, we'll use the cushions or the pillows. So first one, resting down the back, you have hands on the ribs, hands by the side. If you're on the hands on the ribs, we're going to focus on bringing the rib cage down. So imprint the spine, pull the rib cage down and in nice and tight. Imagine you're wearing a corset and you're bringing the ribs in as narrow as you can. Keep that imprint, keep the ribs down. And we're going to squeeze and relax with the thighs. 2, 3, 4, 5. The familiar click from the clinic, isn't it? 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Squeeze the circle of the cushion. We're going to drop the left leg to the side. Back in. 1. And the right. 2. Left. 3. Right. 4. As you drop the left leg out, that right leg stays still, and vice versa. As the right goes out, the left stays still. Keep the rib cage down and keep the back imprinted. Nice smooth movements as you drop the legs out. Don't let them flutter on their way out. Nice smooth movements. I've lost count now at this stage. We'll do one more on each leg after these. Last one on the right, last one on the left, and then bring the legs back in. And then relax for a second. Next we're going to bring the legs to 90 degrees and we're going to work that again. So we're working different adductor muscles as we go from 90 to 45 to straight. So the next one we're going to do Imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, keep the shins parallel, and we're going to squeeze and relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold, drop the left leg to the side. 1, 2, keep the shins parallel as the leg drops out. 3, 4, focus on the imprint. 5, 6, nice smooth movements. 7, 8, 9, 10. Grab the circle and bring the feet down and have a rest. So we've worked the hips at 45 degrees, we've worked the hips at 90 degrees. Next we're going to do is we're going to work the hips when it's 0 degrees or straight down. To do that, we're going to come up into a bridge. So we're going to squeeze the circle nice and tight, bring the hips up nice and high, 2 legs out to the side, and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep the hips up. 6, keep the imprint. 7, rib cage is down, hips are tucked underneath the body. 9, last one. 10, and left leg out and in. Right leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then bring the spine back down onto the mat. We're going to keep the circle squeeze for the next one. We're going to go up and down into bridges. Squeeze the circle nice and tight. So now we're starting to get that gap from 45 to 100 to 0 degrees. We're working the adductors all the time. So circle squeeze nice and tight and lift. 1, 2, and we exaggerate the imprint. 3, so we tuck the hips underneath the body, roll in the back. 4, and then the spine comes down 1 vertebrae at a time. 5, good, roll the hips back. 6, and back down 1 vertebrae at a time. 7, back down. 8, keep the circle squeezed all the time. 9, back down. 1 last one, squeeze in the circle, lift the hips up, roll the hips back down, and we'll give the thighs a little bit of rest. The inside are going to be sore after that. The next set we're going to do, we're going to have the legs in tabletop. We're going to add a rotational component to it. Because the circle's between the ankles, we should control the thighs more, and we have to stop them internally rotating or externally rotating as we squeeze the circle. So we're building that into it this time. Imprint the spine, internal rotation when the knees point in, external rotation when the knees point out to the side and the feet come together. Imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, circle between the ankles, shins are parallel, knees are over the hips, focusing on the imprint, squeeze and relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold, drop the left leg to the side. 1, right leg out. 2, keep the legs parallel. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees, grab the circular cushion and bring the feet down. Next set, we're going to work the gracilis, the muscle on the inside of the thighs that goes over the knees. It's the only one of the adductors that does that. So to do that, we're going to straighten the legs to the ceiling. Imprint the spine, cushion or circle is going to go back between the ankles, legs to tabletop 1 at a time, circle between the ankles, straighten the legs to the ceiling. Make sure the knees stay over the hips. If your hamstrings are tight like mine, it's alright to have a little bit of bend. If you're more flexible, straighten the legs all the way to the ceiling. Keep the imprint, squeeze and relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Bend the knees, bring the feet down and have a little rest. Catch your breath. Next one we're going to do a set of hundreds and we're going to use the circle. So we're going to have the circle between the thighs and then we're going to come back up into that with straight legs to the ceiling, squeeze in a circle. Then we're going to hold it and we're going to drop back and forward. So knees are bent on the mat. First one, we'll go for the hundreds. Circular cushion between the thighs. Keep the feet about hip distance apart. And then the knees should be straight over the hips. So your thighs and chin should be parallel as you look down towards them. Squeezing the circle nice and tight, hands by the side. Reach the hands to the bottom of the mat, bring the shoulders away from the ears. Big deep breath in, expanding the chest. Breathe all the way, bring the ribs down. Tuck the chin in, chin to the chest, head and shoulders up, squeeze the circle and beat the hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 4, 5 and in. 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 4, 5 and in. 2, 5 and out. 2, 4, 5 and in. 2, 4, 5 and out. 2, 4, 5 and in. 2, 4, 5 and out. 2, 4, 5 and in. 2, 4, 5 and out. 2, 4, 5. Down with the legs push apart. Keep squeezing the circle nice and tight. Beating the hands up and down. Good. Keep the chest up nice and tall. We're going to a second last breath, breathing out. And the last breath in. Keep squeezing the circle. Chest up as high as you can. And breathing out. And then rest the head back down. Grab the circle and have a rest again. As I said, the next one we're going to straighten the legs to the ceiling. With the cushion or with the circle, we're going to squeeze, we're going to drop the heels down. This next one's a tough one for the abs, so if you find it a little bit too tough, you can leave the cushion and the circle down and you can just squeeze the legs together. But focus on the imprint and really squeezing as tight as you can between the knees and the ankles. Imprint the spine again. If you're going to go to the circle or the cushion, we're going to bring the legs to tabletop. I'm going to put it between the ankles. Head and shoulders resting down. Knees directly over the hips again. Squeeze the circle, straighten the legs to the ceiling. Focus on the imprint, drop the heels a couple of inches and lift. 1, 2, rib cage stays down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bend the knees and bring the feet down. We're not finished with the circle just yet, unfortunately. We have a few more to do. Next one's going to be for the upper body though. What we're going to do, we're going to bring the legs to tabletop. We're going to go through a few flutter kicks. But we're going to hold the circle in the hands. With the circle in the hands, we're going to do 1 or 2 to set the shoulders first. We're going to squeeze the circle the whole time. So we're going to do it through a couple for the lower body while we do this. First thing I'm going to do is get the shoulders into the right position. So we're going to hold the circle or your cushion in your hands. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, so you're rounding your chest into a bowl shape. Reaching up towards the ceiling, keeping the elbows straight. Drop the shoulder blades back into the mat. Don't let the elbows bend. We'll try that again. Elbows straight as you can. Tuck the elbows in so they point down towards the toes. Push the hands to the ceiling and drop back. Good. Keep those elbows pointed to the toes. Push the hands to the ceiling again and drop back. So we're just getting used to setting the shoulder blades with the back pushed down into the mat. So imprint the spine. Elbows are straight, elbows are tucked in. Reach up to the ceiling and then drop back. Good, so as you reach up, you're working your serratus anterior, your lower traps, and then we're really squeezing the lower traps, those ones in the middle of the back, as you bring the shoulder blades back down. So we're going to squeeze the circle nice and tight, imprint the spine, bring the legs to tabletop, straighten the legs to the ceiling, squeeze the circle, pinch the shoulders together, and small little flutter kicks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bend the knees and bring the feet down. Good. Next one, we're going to straighten the legs onto the mat. So we're going to try some roll-ups, and again, we're going to have the circle in our hands. Now, if you find this is too difficult, set cushion, or if not, just have the hands together and squeeze them together so you can bring the hands back behind the head as we roll up. What I want to get you used to is keeping the shoulder blades pinched as we start to use the abs. So the body doesn't just focus on one area, we have to think of the whole posture in one go. So we're going to have the hands back behind the head, spine is imprinted, legs are straight down onto the mat, gently squeeze the circle, pinch the shoulder blades back and down, arms forward, chin to the chest, rolling up nice and tall, at the top, straight back, and don't let the arms reach forward. Keep that chest forward and shoulder blades together. And then back down. 1. Up nice and tall. 2. And back down. 3. And back down. Keep those elbows tucked in all the time. 4. So when you look towards the elbows, you see the crease of the elbow pointing up towards the ceiling. 5. And back down. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together. 6. And back down. 7. And back down. 8. Control it on the way down. Don't drop down that last little bit, keeping the feet on the mat. Last 2. Chest up nice and tall. Back down onto the mat. And last one, arms forward, rolling up, chest comes forward, shoulder blades are pinched together. And then controlled down onto the mat. Good. Leave the circle down to the side. Don't think you can see anymore, so we're finished with it. You'll be happy to know. Out of sight, out of mind. Head resting onto our block again. Imprint the spine. We're going to come into our single straight leg stretch. So we're going to imprint the spine. Bring the legs to tabletop. Tuck the chin in. Chin to the chest, head and shoulders up. Right hand to the outside of the right ankle. Left hand to the inside of the right knee. Straighten the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees, rest the head, and bring the feet down onto the mat. Great. Next one, double straight leg stretch. That's this week's tutorial if you want to have a look at it. A little bit more detail into it, what to focus on, keeping the spine imprinted, knees together, and the head and chest up. Catch your breath. Imprint the spine again. We're going to bring the legs to tabletop, 2 hands to the side of the head. Tuck the chin in, chin to the chest, head and shoulders up. Elbows into the knees, straighten, elbows out to the side. Bend the knees, elbows in. 2, 3, squeeze the knees together. 4, keep the head and shoulders up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees, head down, feet down onto the mat. Find the legs, the adductors will struggle with that one after you use the circle so hard for the last few. Good, I'm going to catch your head again. Next one we're going to do, we're going to straighten the legs out again. We're going to go for another set of rolls, but this one we're going to reach up to the ceiling without the circle. So legs straight onto the mat. Good, hands back behind the head. Big deep breath in. Breathing out, bring the rib cage down, imprint the spine. Arms forward, chin to the chest, rolling up. 1. And then back down. Arms forward again, rolling up. 2. And back down. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. 3. Fingers pointing to the ceiling. And as you roll up and as you roll down. 5. And back down. 5 more. 6. Keep the feet on the mat. It's starting to cheat. I'm starting to lift as well. 7. Last 3. 8. Starting to struggle as well. Have a little rest on the elbows after this. 9. Reaching up. Back down. One last one. 10. And roll back down. Onto the mat. And resting. We're going to do a little bit next for just control of the spine and our movements. So we're going to come up into sitting. If you want, you can do a little roll up there. I'm not going to. I'm cheating. We're going to sit up nice and tall, legs out in front, and kind of in an L shape. So spine is straight as you can, chest is reaching forward. I want you to reach the arms out in front. Imagine it's a shelf reaching off into the distance. You're resting your arms on top of that shelf. And we want to get segmental control into the spine. So we want to get the neck, the thoracic spine, and then the lumbar spine, all flexing in one go. And we want to get some control of the shoulders as well. So we're going to reach the arms in front. We're going to drop the chin to the chest. You're then going to start to slide the arms forward along that shelf. So the shoulder blades come forward, chest rounds. You start to flex the thoracic spine, and we reach out in front. Then we start to straighten back up from the lower back. So we create a little arch in the lower back. The shoulder blades come together, and then we look up in front. Chin to the chest. Reach the arms forward, rounding the spine from the top down, and then we start to straighten from the bottom. We create the arch in the lower back, straight as the thoracic spine. Shoulder blades come back and down, and then we look up. Chin to the chest. Reaching out in front as far as you can, stretching at the hamstrings. Straightening from the spine, lower part of the spine, look in front, one last one. Chin to the chest, reaching forward, and then come back, straighten from the lower part of the spine, shoulder blades come down, and then looking up in front. Perfect. We're going to come back onto our back again. Next, we're going to go for another set of 100s. So we're going to imprint the spine again. This time we're going to have the legs in tabletop. Sneak peek, we're going to go for 2 sets of 100s. Imprint the spine, bring the legs to tabletop, knees are over the hips. Good, keeping the back imprinted. Reach the hands to the bottom of the mat, tuck the chin in, chin to the chest, head and shoulders up, and beat the hands. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out. 2, 4, 5, and in. 2, 4, 5, and out. 2, 4, 5, and in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 4, 5, and in. 2, 4, 5, and out. 2, 4, 5, knees and hips are 90 degrees. Out. 2, 4, 5, we're over halfway. Out. 2, 4, 5, 8. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 2 breaths in. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last breath in. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest the head down and bring the feet down onto the mat. And the next set of 100s, we're going to straighten the legs to the ceiling. We'll take a little rest first. Then we're going to come up into bow pose with the arms supporting us and the heels on the mat. We're going to do a little bit for the hip flexors, and then we're going to come onto our sides and work the glutes. We're nearly there. Imprint the spine. Legs to tabletop, hands by the side. Reach the hands to the bottom of the mat. Straighten the legs to the ceiling as much as you can. Roll the head and shoulders up and beat the hands. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 4, 5, and in. 2, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. 2, 4, 5, and out. 2, 4, 5. Keep the shoulder blades back. Chest as high as you can. And in. 2, 4, 5, and out. 2, 4, 5, in. 2, 5, out. 2, 4, 5. Don't let the knees bend. Keep them straight. Out. 2, 4, 5, in. 2, 4, 5, out. 2, 4, 5. Last 2 breaths. Out. 2, 4, 5. Last breath in. And out. 2, 4, 5. Rest the head down. Bend the knees and rest down. Hard work there. We're going to roll up into bow pose. So we're going to straighten the legs down first. We'll do it the easy way. Hands back behind the head. Arms forward, chin to the chest. Rolling up nice and tall. We're going to come back onto our mat. So we have the knees bent. Hands back either side of the mat. The knees should be at 90 degrees, the hips at 90 degrees. And as best you can, get the shoulders at 90 degrees. So from the body and drop down. Some people are more flexible around the shoulders. I'm a little bit stiff. So it's hard for me to get a full 90 degrees there. You find it a bit easier the wider you bring the hands out. Let you sit back more and make it easier on the back as well. So we're going to work the hips, the hip flexors. We're going to start by straightening the right leg and bend, and straighten the left leg and bend. We're going to go for 10 in total. 3, 4. To make it hover, you can make it harder. You can lift the heels up, hovering them. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then rest the legs down. Next one, we're going to keep the legs straight. We're going to build some control in around the hips. So pinch the shoulder blades back and down again. Straighten the right leg, lower halfway. 5 circles clockwise. 1, 2. Keep the left knee still. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I didn't change direction today. I lied. We're going to go for 10 each direction. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees. I was thinking about making it harder, and then I decided not to, and I got caught in the count. We're going to straighten the left leg. We're going to go for 10 clockwise and 10 anti-clockwise. Straighten the left leg, lower the leg halfway, keep that right knee still. 1, 2. Nice round circles. 3, 4. They don't have to be that big. They're 4 or 5 inches in diameter. 7, 8, 9. Keep pinching the shoulder blades together and change directions. 9, 8. Chest forward. 6. Keep the right knee still. 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees and rest the feet down. Next one, a little bit harder on the abs. we're going to lift both feet up. So when one leg is down, we've got the glutes of one leg stabilising the pelvis and the abs and the upper traps of the body stabilising. This time we're taking the glutes away, we're putting more pressure through the arms and through the abs. So pinch the shoulder blades together, lift the two heels up, straighten and bend. You can make it easier by letting the heels come down between each one. Keep it harder by keeping the heels up. 2, 3, 4, keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Bend the knees, rest the feet down. We're going to turn onto our side next. So line the back up with the back of the mat, rest the hand underneath your headrest, little sweep forward at the hips with the feet coming forward to the front of the mat. So head resting onto the block, push the top heel away from the body, and we're going to lift and lower for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're not going to take a rest. Straight into the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change directions. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight into big circles. Forward, up, back and down. Push that heel away. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep those circles high. 8, 9, 10. Change directions. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, nearly there. 2, 1, and straight cycling forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep the shin parallel to the floor. 9, 10. Backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest the leg down. Grab the front of the left ankle with your left hand, or front of the right ankle with your right hand. Bring the bottom knee up into your chest, so you lock the pelvis in a posterior tilt, and then straighten the top leg back and get a good stretch into the rectus femoris. The muscle in the quads is part of the hip flexing complex. So think about rounding your back as much as you can. Don't let it arch. Keep the back rounded and stretch the leg back. Good. And then straighten the leg down. I'm going to turn over onto the opposite side. Just going to move myself in a little bit. And again, line the back with the back of the mat. Hand underneath your head block. Resting the head down. Little sweep forward at the hips. I'm going to run through the side series with no rest. So push that top heel away from the body and lift for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep the leg up into little circles. 1, 2, 3. Keep that hip still. Push the heel away. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice round circles. 10. Change directions. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight into big circles. Forward, up, back and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change directions. 10, 9, 8. Make sure the leg keeps going as high. 6, 5, 4. It's really difficult to lift the last few inches as you lift the leg up. 2, 1. And cycling forward. 1, 2. Nearly there. 3, 4, 5. This hasn't felt like a level 1 class today, has it? And then backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then rest the leg down. Bring that bottom leg up into the chest. Grab the top ankle with your top hand. Round your back as much as you can. And stretch the leg back. Don't let it lift up like this. Keep the thigh parallel to the floor as you pull back. Get a nice good stretch into the front of the quads. Good. And just relax now. Let the muscles stretch out. Relax the body as much as you can. And then rest the top leg down. Good. Now, that's the end of this week's level 1 class. A little tougher than usual, but good. We're progressing along each week. We're getting a little bit better. We brought the adductors into a little bit more, and we really worked on the core. Have a nice week, and see you again next week. Bye bye.